Hey everybody, and welcome back to my channel where today I'm going to be updating you on my reading for the last week. And I have very exciting news, and that is that I finished Caliban's War by James S.A. Corey, the second book in the Expanse series. So the Expanse series is a little bit hard to sum up because it is very epic space opera sci-fi. But in this book, it's really a continuation of our first book. So there's some alien technology that we're trying, everybody is kind of trying to contain, but it's made a little bit more difficult because there's some political intrigue happening between Earth and Mars and the Outer Planets Alliance. And that's kind of the story goes from there. I'm really excited that I'm done with this. This took so long for me to get through, partially because I was listening to it on audio, which sometimes works, I'm finding, but doesn't always. These are really long audiobooks, and I just I don't consistently have enough time to listen to audiobooks, and so having a really long one is not necessarily great for me. I ended up switching over to reading the physical book. This is a really interesting world. I don't think we have a ton of world building, but we got enough, and there's some really interesting things happening. Basically where the world building and the plot meet. My book just fell. Where the world building and the plot meet, the world building that we need for that plot, they've really thought out. This author duo has really thought out, and it's very interesting. The plot itself is fascinating. I want to know what's going to happen. I am definitely intrigued with that. However, I am really hit or miss on a lot of these characters. So, in this book, I love Avasarala, and I really like Bobby. And thankfully, those are two of our four perspective characters. So that was really fun to be in their perspectives. It definitely sucked when I switched to the other two, which is Prax and Holden, because I just did not care so much about their perspectives. And I definitely don't care about Holden. And this brings me to something that I am finding I have very mixed feelings on continuing this series. Because even though the world building is interesting, even though the plot is fascinating and really has me hooked, I really struggle to read books where if there isn't a character that I can hang on to through the whole series. And the thing about this is that we change the perspective characters each book. So in the first book, it was Holden and Detective Miller. In this book, it's Holden and Prax and Avasarala and Bobby. In the next book, it's Holden and three new ones. In book 4, it's Holden and three new ones. And I really do not care about Holden at all. Honestly, he's decent. He's just decently well written. He's got some growth. He's got a character arc. He is just, part of my problem is that I see all of these little things that just show his privilege, and that he's straight white cis able-bodied man and hasn't had to think about these things, and it's just so obvious to me in all these little things with his character, and it just kind of bothers me to read it, and it's just not fun. So he's just not a character that I care about. So now I'm looking at this going, part of the fun of reading a series is to follow the same characters and see how they grow and change over time. And the only one that I am guaranteed to get is one that I don't care about. And so I'm sitting here thinking, do I even continue this series then if I don't care about Holden, and he's the only one that I know for sure is going to continue on through this series. And I don't know. Kind of where I'm landing at right now is I think I'm going to continue on with book 3, because if there are interesting enough characters in each book that are not Holden, then I can hang on at least for a little while longer, and maybe the plot will get so intriguing that I won't care so much about the fact that I don't really like Holden. I don't know. We'll see. But I did finish this. 3.75 stars. It was very interesting, and like I said, I really like two of the perspective characters. But yeah, I don't know, like I'm probably gonna read book 3 in this series, and then I'll update you with what I'm gonna be doing going forward. This was very informative. Like, it was really good for me to realize this, but it did complicate my plans of reading this series. We'll see how it goes. After that, I did also finish Second Nightstand by Corellia and Faye Stetz Waters. This is a contemporary romance where we're following these two women who are each in charge of their own dance troupe. One is a ballet troupe and one is a burlesque troupe, and they are going to a reality competition TV show and competing against each other, but of course they have some wild chemistry, and the story goes from there. And this was fun. It was very easy to read. It was very fun. It was a little repetitive. I mentioned that last week. That still stayed the same. It was a little bit repetitive in the way that romance novels sometimes are. It was okay. Like, I got through it. I think that this is, like, originally when I first finished it, I actually rated it 4 stars because, like, this was great. I had a lot of fun reading it. And as I have a little bit of distance, like a couple days, I'm already starting to lose the details. So what I would say is that it's a fun read. It's sapphic. It's got dance. It's got these like really body positive kind of messages, which are great. And like these two women who are learning how to deal with like emotions and trauma, and like not major, well, yes, some of it is major trauma actually, but it's done with a light touch, so it's not a super dark story. But like it's got these really great things, but it's just, you know, like I'm already starting to lose some of the details, so it was good. I had fun. I'm really glad that I read it. I would absolutely recommend it, but I didn't think that it was amazing. It's not a standout romance, but really quite a pleasant way to pass the time. So I think I'm gonna drop my rating down to 3.75 stars for this one. And that's what I finished. So like that was very successful. I'm very happy about that. And so now for the 2 books that I'm in the middle of, I actually started Rosemary and Rue by Seanan McGuire again. This is the first book in the October Day series. And this, like, I just picked this up in part because I actually handed it off to the paperback copy off to my older child to try. And I thought it would be kind of fun to like go back and reread it a little bit to like remember what happens, because I don't, like, so if they come talk to me about what's happening in the book, I actually remember. So I'm just kind of picking my way through this. I'm about 60 pages in out of about, I think, like 260 pages, 280, something like that. So, you know, a decent chunk in, but like not super far. This is my favorite series. It's a huge reread. I don't even know how many times I've read this book. Not that many. I mean, like, I love this series, but this book is a little bit of a rough go. But I am excited to be back in this and just kind of picking my way through. And then the other thing that I picked up is Butcher and Blackbird by Brynne Weaver, which is a contemporary romance novel about 2 serial killers who end up dating each other. This is like the basic premise that I heard, and you guys, I have to tell you, like, in the beginning, it is actually made very clear that both of these people, they are killing people. They're serial killers, but they're specifically seeking out like really horrible humans to kill. So like they're killer of killers, okay? So which made it a little bit more okay, but also like took it in a slightly different direction than I thought it was going to go. But anyway, like I'm 75% of the way into this book. It is definitely something. I kept thinking, like, what the hell am I reading? That's kind of like the repetitive refrain, but it was also fun, and like it drew me in. Like it was just kind of, it was fun to read. It's been fun to read. Now, I am holding out judgment on this book because there was a little bit of a vibe shift around 2/3 of the way in. Um, and so like I still have like 90 pages left, and we'll see. I don't know what could possibly be happening in these last 90 pages because I really kind of thought we were all wrapped up. So I don't know. Like 75% of the way in, a little bit of mixed feelings, but like definitely intrigued and definitely having a lot of fun. So I'm obviously going to continue on with this. And as for everything else this week besides reading, I don't honestly remember. I mean, like one day I did have to go back to the dentist, so like that kind of, I went in the morning and then like my face was numb for the rest of the day. So like that kind of shot my day for everything. So there's been a lot of like video games, and I did go to a concert, and our city puts on an outdoor concerts, which are really cool, and we went to one this week and it was super fun. But other than that, it's mostly just been staying home and just trying not to melt in the heat. So it's been very relaxing, and we're starting to gear up for school, which starts in a couple of weeks, and that means I go back to work, of course. And so just trying really hard to like get that nice relaxation time in. As for next week, I know we're going to continue on with this relaxation stuff because like really like serious countdown before school starts. But I'm going to continue on with Rosemary and Rue. I don't know that I'm going to finish this because I am, like I said, just picking my way through it. I will almost certainly finish Butcher and Blackbird because, again, I only have 90 pages left. Like, it's kind of amazing that I didn't pick it up today to finish it. And then I still have a Midnight Blue Light Special on deck at some point, whenever my buddy is ready to get going on that. But otherwise, I don't actually know exactly what I'm going to read. I might actually, you know what? I'm going to try it. If I finish Butcher and Blackbird and I have not picked up this encrypted book, I'm going to read something from my TBR shelf, okay? Like, I am going to make that promise that that's what I'm going to pick up because I really should read some of the books that are on my TBR shelf. So, we'll see what it is. I'll let you know. Hopefully, because I should finish the books soon. So, there you go. That's all I have. That's all this week is, and that's all I'm foreseeing for the week to come. So, but if you have any thoughts or feelings about any of the books that I talked about in this video, please leave me a comment down below. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and that's it. So until next time, have happy reading, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.